What's up, everybody? I'm here with another update. I got all this stuff yesterday at Boston Mall again, and I'm going to talk to you all about this stuff. But first, this is actually the first update in which I warn people that it would be wise to see this if you're 18 and up, because as you can see, one of the DVDs has a naughty word in its title. So, I'm going to tell you all about Inglourious Basterds first. The reason I got this is because it was a movie made in 2009 that got such good reviews, and I actually would buy this movie just because it was a movie that made IMDb's top 250 in 2009, because, in my opinion, 2009 was a great year for movies in the 2000s. A lot of these movies were box office hits, they got good ratings, and a lot of them actually appeared on IMDb's top 250. There was, of course, Inglourious Basterds, there was The Hangover, there was Avatar, which surpassed Titanic as James Cameron's top grossing movie of all time. What else was there? Let's see, The Hangover, Inglourious Basterds, yeah, there was Up, what else was there? Inglourious Basterds, Up, District 9, there was District 9, which was my favorite movie. I thought, now it's actually one of my favorite movies of all time. Let's see, anything else? Hangover, Inglourious Basterds, District 9, The Hangover. Oh yeah, and of course there was Zombieland. I heard a lot of people loved Zombieland. They kept on saying, like, it was friggin' hilarious. Well, this is the Blu-ray and digital copy of the movie, and I have to say I will agree with the reviews. It's a very good movie, but at first the trailers kind of threw me off what it really was. At first I thought it was sort of a comedy, because at first you actually see this funny scene with Hitler slapping his hand on a table and saying 99999 in a very funny, if I can say, way. And then there was Brad Pitt, who said in a very thick Tennessee accent, "We're gonna be doing one thing and one thing only, killing Nazis." So at first those two lines made me to believe that it was a comedy, but nope, it's actually more like a drama. It's technically a revenge story, but that's only for the first subplot. The movie is about these group of Jewish Americans who are led by, I forgot his name, it's not Archie Hickox, well, I forget his name. One of the, it could be Lieutenant Archie Hickox, but his name escapes me because there's another lieutenant whose name begins with A. So, this lieutenant essentially brings in all of these Jewish Americans deep within German lines in France, because this is during the Normandy invasion of 1944, and essentially he tells each one of his soldiers that they need to kill Nazis, and also every single last one of his soldiers owes him, I think it was 100 Nazi scalps. So every time they kill Nazis, his soldiers scalp their heads, and you actually see them scalping their heads. It's already pretty violent. Also, there's this guy who follows them around, who's part of their team, called the Bear Jew. The Bear Jew is essentially this guy who brings a baseball bat and beats Nazis to death. That's what the cover is. There's the bat of the Bear Jew and a Nazi's helmet. Then the other plot, which actually starts in the beginning, is about this French girl who changed her name because she was Jewish and she wanted to hide from the Nazis. Her name is Shoshana, and at the beginning, not to give anything away, but you actually see her family get killed when a farmer reveals to a Gestapo agent that he is hiding enemies of the state. But she gets away, and then in the future she plans to... in the future, 1944, 3 years later, since 1941, she actually is forced against her own will to show a Nazi propaganda movie in her theater about this German soldier who single-handedly slaughtered 3,000 French soldiers in a bell tower with his sniper rifle. So after that, her plan is essentially to lock down the theater and burn everybody alive. The way she's going to do this is by getting the help of her French African-American friend, and they're basically going to bring like these film reels of all these film reels, which at the time in the 40s contained large amounts of nitroglycerin, so it was very flammable. Film back then was 3 times more flammable than paper, so they're basically going to create this big pile of film in the back of the stage, and then they're going to burn it down, locking the door so that all of these Nazis are burned alive. Because in the theater, let's see, Hitler himself, Herr Goebbels, some guy called Pacman, and another German leader who I forgot his name. They're all attending this propaganda film. So yeah, that's their plan essentially, to kill all the leaders so that the war will be over. Yet at the same time, the Basterds, let's see, I believe the English call Lieutenant Archie Hickok's men the Basterds. For some reason, I forgot why they call them the Basterds, and also apparently their team is spelled with an E instead of an A. So they also have a plan to kill Hitler by disguising themselves as, let's see, cameramen for this German actress who's also attending the theater, and they basically plan to kill Hitler, the 4 leaders, and all of these Gestapo leaders who are attending the theater so that the war will end. And the way they do this is by strapping dynamite to their legs. So both these plots of Shosanna burning down the theater and the Basterds trying to kill Hitler and all of his leaders is actually pretty interesting. The film isn't entirely based on action. It more acts like a play with, in which one scene, well, the film acts like a play because it actually says chapters throughout the movie. When a scene ends, the chapter ends, and most of the chapters are long and they focus around one scene. So the movie appears to be more like a play until to the ending. And let me tell you, when you get to the ending where the 2 plots are trying to kill Hitler, they're trying to burn down the theater and they're trying to kill Hitler with explosives. When you get to the ending and you see it, I'm not going to give anything away, but for the ending of this film, wow. So overall, this was a pretty good movie. The acting was, I think, phenomenal. I haven't seen a lot of movies with Brad Pitt. I haven't heard of him a whole lot, but his performance was actually pretty good. He gives us a nice Tennessee accent. Also, there's, what else? What's that? Oh, that's my iPod, sorry. So anyway, it's a pretty good, film. It cost $70 million to make, and it was made by Quentin Tarantino. Apparently, he didn't make this movie because he got sidetracked by Kill Bill and this other movie he made in 2007. But I believe it was in 2008, he finally got back to Inglourious Basterds. Oh, I just noticed that. They even deliberately spelled Inglourious wrong. So, overall, it was a pretty good movie. The sets are great. I think a lot of the money went to the sets. They look phenomenal. It's not entirely based on action, just because, with the guns, and for an R-rated movie, it actually deserves it. It's not too big on cursing or swearing, but my god, is it violent. People are getting shot, you see their blood, there's also a lot of, let's see, yeah, there's a lot of action scenes and there's a lot of blood, but pretty much that's all I can think of. Probably the most disturbing scene is at the end, where I'm not going to give anything away. Well, I can give something away. Near the end, you actually see Brad Pitt scalp this guy's forehead, and with his knife, he scalps into this guy's forehead the swastika symbol. I'm gonna give you something you can't take off, and you actually see it in action, and, well, it's pretty violent. So that's all I'm gonna say for Inglourious Basterds. Apparently, according to the DVD, the Blu-ray, this is the special edition. Now, to be honest, I don't know why they call it the special edition. Maybe it's with a lot of bonus features, but I didn't see it in theaters, but I don't know. Does this version differ a lot from the theatrical version? Because the only real, because I don't have a good picture in my head on what special editions are. The only special editions I'm familiar with are the alterations of the original Star Wars trilogy, so I don't know if this differs a whole lot from the theatrical version. Also, it includes the digital copy, but I wasn't able to download this on my iPod because this Blu-ray was used. So this is actually a pretty clever move. Whoever turned this copy back into a FYE did not keep the Blu-ray insert here, so I could perhaps steal his code. So I can't download it to my iPod, but then again, I could buy it on the iTunes store for $10. Also, it wasn't a waste of money to buy a digital copy that doesn't work because it was actually very cheap for a used Blu-ray disc. It was only about $18. It seems very cheap for Blu-ray to me. Then another film by Quentin Tarantino that my mom said I should definitely check out, and I'm going to watch after this update, is Pulp Fiction. I don't know a whole lot about the plot of this movie. I don't know why, exactly so far why everybody says it's good, but it looks good to me. The main reason I want to see this film is because of the stars in this movie. Apparently it's what made Quentin Tarantino big when he made this movie, and apparently also it has Samuel L. Jackson and John Travolta and Uma Thurman in it. And let me tell you, because Samuel L. Jackson is in this movie, I think that's worth seeing it. Because Samuel L. Jackson, let me tell you, he is the man. There's the snakes on a plane scene in which he quotes the immortal line. And then there's his role as Mace Windu in the Star Wars prequels. So yeah, because of him in this movie, I definitely want to see it. So yeah, it's gotten a reputation as one of the best movies made. I think it was made in the 90s. It's gotten a reputation of one of the best, as it being one of the best movies that came out in the 90s. Before IMDb got rid of their top 250, it was pretty high on the list. And it appears that this is the collector's edition. Why is everything always an edition of some sort? Yeah, special edition and then collector's edition. I even have a Terminator 2 DVD which says the Ultimate Edition. What is with that? So it appears that the collector's edition is just the movie with a lot more bonus features and a pamphlet here. Looks like a pretty good film, actually. Well, that's my update. I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.